Hey guys, welcome back. It has been a long time. I've been going through a lot of chaos lately, and this is the first time I've filmed in a very long time, and I'm doing it in a new location, and I don't know about the lighting, and my fake lighting is still packed up somewhere, and you know, so this might be a little bit scattered, but today I wanted to do a tutorial. It's not really a tutorial. It's a look. I don't like to call them tutorials because, I don't know. I love makeup and I'm good with makeup, but I'm not an artiste, right? So, I don't know. I hate to call them tutorials. But anyway, I was inspired by this necklace that I'm wearing. This is an Apartment 9 necklace. You get Apartment 9 at Kohl's. And, you know, when I was growing up, well, a lot of the time, I mean, during the 80s, there was this conflict between, you know, 80s dramatic makeup that you see on TV, which is not really how we wore it in real life. I mean, we did have, colors were bright, we did tight roll our pants, you know, we did wear acid wash jeans, we did have shoulder pads, and, you know, we rolled up our sleeves and we wore men's cut t-shirts tucked in and pulled out because that's what was available to us and all that kind of stuff. And we did perm our hair, and some people were really good at it and some people were really bad at it. And of course, all you ever see are the people who were really bad at it, right? But it was dramatic, and there was, you know, there was color. We weren't afraid of color, and we did use eyeliner, and you know, lip liner came around towards the end and that kind of stuff. But towards the end of the 80s, it was almost taboo if you were matchy-matchy, like if you matched your makeup, like your eyeshadow color to the color of your shirt and that kind of thing. That was like a big no-no. But people are really starting to do that a lot again, and they're really starting to pull all of the colors that they put on their face exactly out of what they're wearing. And it's a little dangerous, it's a little risky to do that, but in a lot of ways it's a lot of fun to do that, and it's a good way to experiment, and it's just a fun way to see what you can come up with. And so I decided to do that using this necklace as inspiration, and literally what I did is I just went into my makeup storage and I literally just at random, essentially as if I were closing my eyes and sticking my hands in and pulling things out, started pulling out products. And if I found a color that matched one of the colors in the necklace, I set it aside until I had like 4 eye makeup products. And then once I had the eye makeup products set aside, then I kind of tried to find like a blush and a lipstick color that would sort of tie it all together and make it look a little less random. But I literally pulled colors out at random, and it's only by chance and a little bit by skill that I got them to sort of work. There were some palettes that I pulled out that got rejected because none of the colors matched anything in this necklace, and I did want to pull colors from this necklace specifically. But I really did, if I pulled out a palette and one of the colors in the palette matched any color in this necklace, the rule was the palette was staying. Whether it didn't matter. It didn't matter if the colors ended up going together or not. Whatever I ended up with is what I ended up with, and that's what I had to make work. So, let me show you the necklace a little closer just so you can sort of see what my options were going to be, potentially. It's a beautiful necklace. I really love it. But you can see there is a lot of different kind of colors. There's champagnes, there's reds, there's pinks, there's greens, there's blues, there's purples, there are oranges, there are teals, there are, you know, some, well, clears and some kind of vintage style. There are different shades of pinks, there are different shades of reds, there are different shades of greens, there are different shades of purples. So the good thing was, it wasn't that hard to find exact matches for colors that were in this necklace. The bad thing was that this really made pulling the colors out at random semi-dangerous, right? Because I just didn't know what I was going to end up with. But this is the look that I did end up with, and I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed wearing it, and I felt pretty with it on. And it was fun to put together, and it challenged me, you know, just enough to where it made putting on the makeup fun, but not miserable or stressful. And it took longer than it normally would because I was putting some thought into it, and I took the time to find the products and that sort of thing. But it didn't take so long that I was miserable and stressed out and not enjoying the process. And so I would encourage you to try something like this because it does challenge you, and it challenges your kind of creativity. It challenges your sort of everyday makeup look. You know, you might have to change up how you apply it. It might challenge what you use as far as brushes and that sort of thing, because you might need to change that up in order to make it work. It just challenges your creativity and gives you a little bit of that artist in the, you know, in the phrase makeup artist, because a lot of people get paid to put makeup on other people, but in my opinion that doesn't make them a makeup artist. Artists are a whole nother breed. They are, you know, in a class of their own, and that is not me. Right? And I say kudos to people that are true artists. But I can have some fun with my makeup, and I can challenge myself, and I can do things a little differently, and I can pull out my artistic side even though I'm not an artist, and I can do things a little differently than I would just for my normal everyday kind of makeup that I can put on with my eyes closed or without a mirror, like we have all done, right? I did the no mirror makeup challenge, and it turned out fairly well. Or, you know, that I can just put on kind of in robot mode, and I don't really have to pay attention to what I'm doing, and I can think about other things while I do it, and it will end up looking fine because it's habitual, right? So that's what I did, and I know this is a long intro, but I'm going to show you the products in the order that I discovered them, and then I will show you how I put them on. Okay, so if you're interested in following along, then please keep watching. Okay, so you guys tell me what you think about the lighting here, because, you know, this is the first time I've filmed here, and I'm, you know, gonna have to play around with locations, and this is kind of a weird, cramped little area, but I don't know. The lighting seems to be okay, so you let me know. Let's start with the first product that I pulled out, and I really did this randomly. I really just kind of got in. This is something I've always done because it's just fun for me. It challenges me, but I'm in a perfect situation to do it now because of, you know, having a lot of things in boxes, and so I can just kind of go into the box blindly with my eyes shut and pull something out, that kind of thing. So finding the random items was the easy part. Okay, so the first thing I kind of went in, I actually pulled out quite a few options that really just didn't have a good match before I found the first one, and then once I found the first one, I kind of scored every time after that. So the first thing that I pulled out was this Wet n Wild Color Icon palette, and it's one of the trios. This is I'm Getting Sunburned, and this bottom eyelid color here, this coppery color, I thought was a really pretty good match for this kind of orange color down here at the bottom. This little bit right here. You know, it's not exact, but in the camera exaggerates the differences. But in, you know, in person, they are a fairly close match. So I went with this one. And then the next palette I pulled out is one of the Avon True Color eyeshadow quads. Now this is one of the old formulations, which was adding an additional challenge because these were not known to be super pigmented in a lot of cases. This is the Vivid Violet quad, And the one I chose, sorry if you heard that noise, that was the mailman. The one that I chose is this bright purple down here. And it went really well with these kind of big purple stones in the necklace here. Can you see that? So I went with that one. There's also another one here that's the smaller purple one here at the bottom that's a similar color. So that was a good match, and that's when I went, oh, this is going to be interesting because, you know, this purple and this copper are kind of an interesting mix, and they both have, this has a metallic finish, this definitely has kind of a definite sheen to it. I wouldn't call it, it's not really metallic, it's not really a shimmer, it's not really a velvet, but it does, you know, it's got a little zip to it, so that's a lot of kind of shimmer and shine, right? And then the next item that I pulled out is one of the iMark Custom Pick eyeshadows, and these were the ones that you bought to put in palettes. This one is called Lotus, and this is a really kind of pretty, it's a very, very pale pink, and this also has kind of a shimmer or a satiny finish to it, and I don't know how well that's coming up on camera, but it's a very light kind of icy sort of purpley pink. It's a cool tone pink, so it's got hints of kind of a purple or blue undertone to it, and I thought that went really well with this kind of pale sort of lavender colored stone here. It's kind of a purpley stone. I pulled out the NYX, this is the Eyebrow Pencil, and this is number 922 in baby pink. You can see the color there. So this is a very pale icy pink, which goes, you know, well with this color here at the top. And then I just pulled out a mascara to use. I pulled out my Smashbox Full Exposure mascara. And I also needed an eyeliner because that's so icy. I needed something to kind of, you know, exaggerate the lash line a little bit. And so, you know, I just pulled out, this is one of the Avon Precision Glimmer eyeliners. This is in Dune, but any kind of bronzy sort of brown eyeliner, if you want to replicate this exactly, will do. And then for blush, because everything was kind of cool toned and purpley, aside from that coppery color, I just wanted to keep sort of neutral, so I went with kind of a cool toned pink. This is the Blush Crush Baked Blush in Living Doll. It's number 125 by Hard Candy. So you guys have probably seen these a million times. It's, you know, pink with some gold kind of flecked through it. And I am going to, of course, use the highlighter that I always use on top, just if you're curious. This is the same thing in number 127 Honeymoon, which is a peachy color. But it really provides, for me, it provides more of just a shine shimmer. So I use this all the time as this is kind of my staple highlight color. So that's nothing new. And then for lipstick, I pulled out like 2 different lipsticks and I kind of played around with them. And I have to say I'm not completely happy with either one because it's almost a little bit too much going on. I really would prefer to have kind of a My Lips But Better color just on the lips, but my lips are very pigmented and it's very hard to find that. I had a lip liner that was pretty much the exact match for my lips. Actually just a hint paler than mine, but it was by Mary Kay and they've discontinued that color long ago. And then I had a Revlon, it was like a balm, it was like a tinted balm that also has been discontinued, and that's gone. And it's been a couple years since I've been able to find a good My Lips But Better color that I really like. So since I can't really, you know, grab that and go, I just thought, well, I'll just dig through and see what I come up with. And this was one of the ones that I came up with, and I liked this one better than the others that I sort of randomly pulled out. So this is one of the NYX Diamond Sparkle lipsticks, and this is in Sparkling Rose. And this, especially on camera, is going to end up looking kind of very sort of frosty, and it will have like a reflective sort of shine to it, which is a little bit in competition with the eyes, but I'm really going to kind of blend it out with my finger just so I have a hint of that cool sort of icy pink left. So those are the colors that I come up with. Something else that I want to show you, because I don't think I've ever shown you guys this before, is I'm using one of the Flower eyeshadow brushes, and this is really nice. I really like it. It's really soft. It's dense. I would really like to pick up a couple more. They don't have very many brushes. I think they only have maybe 5. They have a blusher brush. No, they have a powder brush, like a foundation brush, the eyeshadow brush, an angled, like flat angled eyeliner brush, and then one more. Maybe a lip or an eyeliner brush or something, but anyway, I think they only have 5 available in my Walmart anyway. But if you haven't tried these before, especially this one is really nice, and they have a flat bottom, so if you really wanted to stand them up, you know, if you have a safe place to kind of do that, it's possible with these, but I don't know, they're just kind of fun. They're rounded on one side and flat on the other, and just packaging is nice, the brush is nice and soft, so I wanted to mention that. And I've zoomed you in now. Hello, welcome to my face close up, so you can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit better. This isn't really a tutorial. It's just for fun. It's just to show you how you can kind of experiment with makeup and random colors and make them work, or make them work for you. Because I am not one of those girls that can have crazy neon, like wild and crazy colors on and then go out into my day, because I'm a businesswoman. And while I do makeup, I also do a lot of other things, and I have very professional, almost political type responsibilities as well. So most of the time I have to keep it a little more professional, a little less playful. But this is just to show you that you can still have fun with makeup and be random and experiment and still go out and live your everyday life. Okay, so the first thing I did was I took the Eye Mark eyeshadow, that eyeshadow in Lotus, and I used the Flower brush, and I'm just going to, this eyeshadow color is just going to go all over the lid, all the way up to the brow bone. This is acting basically kind of just as a base, and then also as my highlight color. And this is a very pale color. It probably will not even show up on camera. I'm not really sure how good the lighting is, so I don't know if any of these will show up on camera, but we're going to go with it anyway. So this is just a very pale color. This just gives you kind of just a hint, a wash of color. It just brightens the areas a little bit and evens things out just a little bit. But really, this is not the kind of color that you're going to put on for heavy application. And if you hear a little click clacking, that's my little munchkins creeping around me. There's kitty cats in here, and there's a big doggy in here, so I hear their little nails on the floor. And next I took this purple color with an angled, like a flat angled eyeshadow brush. This brush is just perfect for me. This is kind of a no-brainer for my crease. If I turn it sideways, it fits exactly for my eye shape in my crease and gives me a really nice sharp angle if I want to make an outer V. And then if I turn it long ways and kind of angle it towards my brow, it's the perfect length or height to blend the shadow out kind of along the edges and still leave, you know, highlight color. So this, for me, if you can find a brush that's an angled eyeshadow brush with a flat top, you know, a little wider than an eyeliner brush, that is the right length this way for you, that when you turn it long ways, it reaches almost to your brow line, but not exactly. I mean, you can make a 2 or 3 eyeshadow application be done in just seconds, because this brush will do everything for you. It applies it and then it will blend it out for you. So this is the color that I used kind of in the crease in the outer V to create the, I don't want to say drama, because I really think the copper color brings the drama, but this you know, deepens the crease, and this is what makes your eyes look, you know, smoky, and what gives you the sort of cat eye shape and all of those sort of things. So I'm just going to place it in my outer V, and I'm going to drag it across my crease. See, perfect shape. I'm going to drag it down to make an outer V color, and then I'm going to blend it in that outer corner. And then I'm going to turn the brush and I'm going to blend it up to my brow bone, or up towards my brow bone. Not all the way to the brow bone, but towards it. And see, it's just the perfect size for me. It makes my makeup application take 2 seconds in my normal everyday makeup routine. Next, I'm going to take that copper color, and I'm just going to take it on my fingers, actually, and I'm just going to pat it kind of in the center of the lid. And this really brings kind of some drama to the look. Now, if you want to go back in with this Flower Beauty brush and just soften kind of the edge around here, you can with some of that Lotus color, just to kind of soften the edge. You can do that. I'm not one who, I'm a busy person, so I really don't spend a whole lot of time blending, and I don't mind if those edges are a little more harsh than a makeup artist would like them to be. But, you know, some of you have a lot of time, and some of you, this really is 100% your passion, and this is really where you put your time in. And so you might want to spend a little more time kind of blending around the edges, and that's perfectly fine. So I'm just adding a little more of the Lotus just to keep that sort of bright there. Then next I took this eyeliner pencil, and I'll be honest with you, this is where, this is the product that I was pretty disappointed with, because I feel brush hairs on me. Because the pencil is pretty hard and you don't get a lot of color transfer on the eyes. So this is one that I was actually pretty disappointed with, and I generally like the NYX eyeliners fairly well. So I don't know if I'm just getting a little more sensitive in my old age, or if my skin is getting a little more crepey, or what have you, where I just can't kind of handle it as much as I used to. But I was a little disappointed with this one. But I am going to take this one in and kind of put it in the inner corner, kind of to give some brightness. And then I'm just going to go under the eye, all the way across the eye. And you probably are not going to be able to see it. You can sort of see it in the inner corner, but you can't really see it. It doesn't transfer as well as I would like it to underneath the eye here. So I don't know whether you'll be able to see that or not. The more you use it, it does kind of soften up a little bit, you know, as it warms up, but I still would like just a little more intensity from it. would prefer that. And I am taking it up kind of in the inner corner of the eyelid, just a little bit, but not a lot. Just to kind of brighten up that inner corner, just a little. And then I'm going to go back into that purple. And if you have a small smudger brush or a flat eyeliner brush, if you want to use that, you can. I'm just going to, I'm just being lazy. I'm just going to use my angled eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to go back into the purple. And I'm just going to take this along the, kind of the outer 2/3 or so of the eye, just to make it a little smoky. And this is what helps to continue that sort of exaggerated sort of cat eye or almond eye shape. It also kind of draws the eye out towards the outer V, so that it gives you the visual effect that your eyes are kind of going up. Makes your lower lash line look a little thicker when you add some color under there. It's kind of a lot of visual tricks that this provides for you, sort of all in one. And then I'm just going to take my brown liner. If you have, dark hair, if you wanted to go with black, you could. I really wanted to stick with kind of the brown because of this coppery color, and it kind of goes with my hair, and all those sorts of things. But feel free to use, a black if black is all you have. Or you really could even use a dark smoky purple if you really wanted to. I just usually, with liquid eyeliner, for the most part, my everyday is to stick with a brown or a black. Also, if you want to create a dramatic wing, you can, but like I said, I'm kind of going out to the public today, and I have a little bit of drama kind of going on already, so we're going to have to tame it down a little bit. But by all means, if you like to do a dramatic wing, then do that. And then curl your lashes if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. That's the beauty of makeup. You can do whatever you want. Can't really talk and curl my lashes at the same time. I guess I can, but not very clearly. And then I'm using the Smashbox Full Exposure Mascara in jet black. This is a sample size. It's really one of my favorite mascaras, but it is, it is a little pricier, but I love these big giant brushes like this. These do really well with my lashes. I prefer length over volume. I want my lashes to look, a mile long. I don't want them to, I don't care if it looks like I have a gazillion of them, because as long as they look super duper long, I get compliments. So I have a decent amount of lashes, and my lashes are a decent length on their own, and this just really does a good job of kind of exaggerating all of them and really playing to the length. And you guys know that I don't, for my everyday, normally put mascara underneath, and I also don't normally put makeup on the lower lash line, just because I find that, you know, during the day, that's what melts and smudges and runs, and I'm not the kind of person who really has a lot of time to be redoing my makeup or worrying about that kind of stuff during the day. And so that's one reason why I don't. The other reason why I don't is it actually makes you look younger to have that lower lash line kind of free and clear. And, you know, at 40 years old, I don't mind looking younger, right? So 20-year-olds and teens tend to do the lower waterline, not the waterline, just tend to put makeup underneath the lash line and do all this stuff because they want to look 10 years older. You know, then when you're my age, you want to look 10 years younger, so you stop doing it. And you'll find that girls in their 30s or so, sometimes their late 20s if they go out a lot, and they have all of those nights where their mascara runs down their face and they're at the club trying to look cute and pick up guys. And then they suddenly realize, well, hey, that won't happen if I don't put any makeup on that area. And they still pick up guys even without it, so then they go, hey, I'm going to stop doing that. But for this look, I decided to go ahead and do it. Normally for my everyday I wouldn't, but I felt like all of this color on top needed some balance. So for this look I went ahead and did it. And you guys know I really don't, I already have a little color in my brows, but I normally do not do a real dramatic brow. If you like your brows heavily arched, heavily filled in, do that. I think that's another thing that ages you. You find a lot of the 20-somethings that are doing that. For me, I just want to look younger and more natural, and so I go with a more natural brow. But by all means, if you want to do a dramatic brow, go for it, girlfriend. Go for it. You know what I'm saying? Do what you want. Okay, so for blush, I showed you the blush. I'm just going to put my blush on. And this is not, you know, any kind of miraculous application. It's just blush, and I put it on like blush. I keep my blush back a little bit because it lifts your cheekbones. You know, a lot of people are still smiling and doing that. That's a big no-no for me. And for my cheek shape, because that drags my face down, if I keep it a little further back, you know, I put a little color kind of starting right about here. You know, the color will start to show up kind of right about here and work its way back. And this is a lighter blush, so I do kind of have to pack it on a little bit more, because I have a lot of sort of natural cheek color as it is. And what I find is when I put blush on, my cheeks kind of get natural color just from the friction of the brush, and then that wears away and I don't have nearly enough blush on, or nearly as much as I thought I did, because I was seeing my natural color from my face being attacked with a brush showing up. So I'm packing this on a little bit, and then I'm going to go in with my highlighter, and this is just the way that I always do. Again, it's this one. My highlighter, my cheekbones are extremely high. They're right here. My ancestry is a lot of Native American, and you know they have the very high cheekbones right here. But I do have this sort of rounded area as well. So I do stick with kind of the highest point of my cheekbone, and I put a little bit here. But I also put a little bit, for me, I put a little bit of highlight here because that helps to exaggerate the this shape a little bit, which I think balances out my face. It makes my face look less, it's not that I want them to look less lifted, but I don't want my cheeks to be all the way up here. I want them to be kind of down here, and it just kind of identifies where the apples are for me a little bit better. But my cheek shape is, I find, is a little different from most people. I mean, that roundedness is, a lot of people have that, but the height of my actual bone is a little different. So for you, that may not work quite as well, but for me, it seems to work. So that's where my highlight goes. And I don't know if the lighting, it's actually starting to get cloudy, so I don't know if you can really tell. But that's how I do it. And then the lip color. Now I'm going to put this on and hopefully I can blend it out well enough. It's going to be a little shocking at first, I think, because it does shine. And on the computer it makes it look more frosty than it even really is in person. So right now you see it's like shine and it's kind of competing, and that's not really what I'm going for. And it looks extremely frosty on camera, but it's not that way in person. So what I'm going to do is, let me get my mirror so I can really see what I'm doing, is I'm just going to soften that with my finger and take away some of that metallic finish. I'm just going to take that down some and just leave a little pale pinkness to my lips. I'm getting out of screen a little bit. You guys see my scar? Chickenpox. Tends to reflect the most right there in the middle. And I have to be careful because on camera it can make it seem like you're getting that like white line. I'm really not, but okay. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it. So that's a look. I'm going to zoom you out so you can kind of see everything together with the necklace and all of that. So this is the final look, and a lot of you are going to be dying to put on some falsy lashes with this, and I probably would too if I didn't have to go out in public. Because it really would finish off the look. There's kind of, you know, a lot of drama going on, and I think that some false lashes would really finish that off nicely. But where I'm from, we don't wear false lashes on the daily, so you know, it's not something I'm going to wear kind of out in public. But I just thought the colors went really nicely, and it was just a fun way to kind of play and experiment and just sort of see what happens. And that's what I think you should do with makeup. You should just sort of see what happens. Just play around, be totally random, pick things at random, and just see what happens. And you will find a lot of really happy accidents when you do that. And you might, there have been a lot of times where I have found sort of my perfect look by doing that and just really experimenting and just seeing how it turns out. And so you might find that happens for you as well. So I hope you liked it. Let me know what you think about the lighting. Let me know if you enjoyed this kind of video and if you'd like to see more of these. And I apologize, I'm a little out of, you know, I'm out of my comfort zone. I haven't done videos in a while. I'm in a new space, and it's all, you know, it's just all awkward and weird, and I'm not used to it anymore, or yet. So I'm sure that's going to come across for a little while. But I hope you liked it. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. I'm just here to meet, you know, just meeting friends here and just sharing things that I love and I enjoy, and you know, hopefully you will share back with me as well. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.